So yes, all of a sudden now he's having all these plans to come to Canada, and if we're not careful, she will help him smuggle him out of the country. So she knows the urgency of the whole situation. She knows everything. And one thing that I did not mention is throughout this whole thing, Mr. Logic has been threatening my life.
Let me tell you something. If you talk like this, I will fucking murder you. Yeah, I'm going straight with you. If you talk like this, don't step to Ghana.
Are you kidding
I swear on my father's grave. If you talk like this to me, I'll fucking murder you.
You're serious right
now? I'm telling you the truth. Yes. If you talk like this, you cannot go to Ghana. If you talk like this, you cannot go to Ghana. If you talk like this, it's going to get very bloody for you. If you talk like this, it's going to get very bloody for you.
Good, because I'm recording. I'm recording this too. I'm recording this conversation.
Record it.
And it will be sent to the police.
Like, he's threatened my life multiple times. I recorded the conversations of him threatening my life. I have screenshots of him threatening my life. He even told my mother that he's coming for my life. He told my mother he's coming for my life. So clearly, his plan to come to Canada is to do what? There's nothing here for him in Canada at all. So what, is he trying to come for my life? Is that what he's trying to do? Because clearly, there's nothing here for him. There's no reason for him to come to Canada. I mean, okay, yes, you can do whatever you want. But what he needs to focus on is the court case. He needs to go be dealt with the police. That's what needs to happen. He needs to get arrested. So I need help, you guys. I need help. Like, if there's a way, if you see him, please call the police. Do not go near him. Just call the police and let them know his whereabouts. Okay, because this is a serious thing. He's even sent me emails where he's threatening my family's life. He's like, say, if I don't keep quiet, he told me that if I don't keep quiet and if I don't resolve this issue with him privately, that he will come after me and he will come after my family. He's like, when I think that everything is fine and quiet and normal, that's when he's gonna come after me and my family. That's what he told me. I cannot let that happen. Obviously, I cannot let that happen. So please, guys, I need your help. I really need your help. If you guys know where he is, if you see him, please call the police on him, please.
Na say ne first day Mr. Logic was why obu obi of visa fraud on me say me I mean me right there because mathematic be pain enya asem ketwa Mr. Logic na dey warning ekoma baba wa bi wo che ne se osi Ghana obetimi akunu na asem wo kan na serious issue ana baba one day the picture to abonten was say wa abehuni bia no report no authorities because we wanted Mr. Logic no because was a connection no asema ye kan ya na ye nsem bebre connection connection bibia timisi it is also a connection there na there two trim say betima tija ebetimi so afa tija it is a wuni ahoden and betima di connection achidi na wajaye Mr. Logic na akwakoye bia me na akwakọ tija ya sisi ya ye ka say osan so threaten nipa na ono wagye ni sika no oso osiga na obekunu ensem wo kan ye de ese wani eni kwa se meka che enkoti ababa we brofo na wo kan etena de ekuti brofo.
One thing that I did not mention is throughout this whole thing Mr. Logic has been threatening my life.
Let me tell you something. If you talk like this, I will murder you. Yeah, I'm going straight with you. If you talk like this, don't step to Ghana.
Are you kidding
me? I swear on my father's grave. If you talk like this to me, I'll murder you.
You're serious right now?
I'm telling you the truth. Yes. If you talk like this, you cannot go to Ghana. If you talk like this, you cannot go to Ghana. If you talk like this, it's going to get very bloody for you. If you talk like this, it's going to get very bloody for you.
Good, because I'm recording. I'm recording this too. I'm recording this conversation.
Record it.
And it will be sent to the police.
Like, he's threatened my life multiple times. I recorded the conversations of him threatening my life. I have screenshots of him threatening my life. He even told my mother that he's coming for my life. He told my mother he's coming for my life. Hello guys, what's up? It's Monique or Mo Spence. I just wanted to speak with you guys. I know it's been a very long time since you've heard from us, and there's many reasons why. So as you know, we left Canada and moved to Ghana, beautiful, wonderful Ghana, and we love Ghana so much. Ghana is everything. We've been blessed. Obviously, you've seen that things have quieted down for like over a year now. And the reason for that is because one thing that you might not know about me is that I do music. And I was actually discovered out there. And it was actually my husband, Kirk, who like put me out there. He pretty much put me out there, and then I ended up, just trying to make a long story short. So I ended up getting discovered by a company which is called Red Panther Music. And the person who runs that company is Mr. Logic, aka Christopher Nelson, aka Emmanuel Barnes. So, gosh, I don't even know where to start with this whole thing. It's crazy. So part of the agreement was that I would have to stop, or all of us would have to stop using the channel because I'm coming out as an artist, and it would kind of conflict with our YouTube channel, right? So we had to make the decision, Kirk and I had to make the decision to basically stop posting. And it was very hard to do. It was very difficult because obviously we wanted to share our journey with you guys. That was a part of why we've gone to Ghana in the first place. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna be doing this in intervals. Okay, so basically we were living in Koforidua, and in order for the music career to go well, we had to move to Accra, because obviously Accra is where all the action is, right? So, boy, there's actually so much more to the story, but I'm just gonna stick with this particular thing. So I moved to Accra, and Mr. Logic was dealing with pretty much the landlord who we were moving into the new house for, right? So he was dealing with the landlord. And one of the reasons why is because we were having a little bit of issues with immigration. So we were going back and forth with immigration, and Mr. Logic was helping us to be able to stay in the country so that I would be able to do the music. The plan was for us to get a work permit. So Mr. Logic convinced us that we needed to get a 3-year work permit, and then after that we could apply for citizenship. So we agreed, and we paid a lot of money to get it done, to be under his company as his employees. So we did that, and then Grandpa and Victoria, they would be our dependents, right? So Kirk and I would have the work permit, and then Grandpa and Victoria would be the dependents. So yes, so we did that, and we agreed to that. So we paid for that. Okay, then, like I said, we went to that new house in Accra. Basically, in Accra or anywhere in Ghana, what they do is they want you to pay for the year up front, right? They don't do like monthly rent. So we had to pay for a whole year up front. So we did that, right? We paid for 1 year, and then the 1 year went up, and now we're going into the second year. So we paid for the second year. What we did not know was that man, Mr. Logic, he was paying himself instead of paying the landlord the money. And the thing is, I found out later on that the landlord was complaining a lot and was very upset, but Mr. Logic would always stop the landlord from coming to the house. So the landlord was stopping him from dealing with us directly, and he was stopping us from dealing with the landlord directly. He wanted to be the person that was dealing with the landlord, and he did not want us to have any interaction with the landlord whatsoever. Okay, so boy, it was just a big mess. Then we met a beautiful family from America who basically, through our channel, we met an American family. We became good friends. We started to work together, and Mr. Logic stepped in and said that he could do the same thing for them, get them a work permit under his company, which they agreed as well. And long story short, he ended up going to court because they ended up taking him to court for defrauding them for this work permit. And basically he did the same thing to me and my family as well. He defrauded us out of thousands of dollars, just like he did with the American family. So now basically we have no work permit. We have no work permit, and we noticed that all of a sudden Mr. Logic has a new car, he has a new house, okay? And he's all of a sudden he's living this lavish life. Okay, so now as time goes by, you know, we're starting the music. So, you know, I'm getting into the studio, I'm recording. I ended up recording an EP, and we shot a music video for one of the songs on the EP. We shot a few music videos, but only one came out. And I was, you know, I've been on TV, I'm on radio, and things are going well, right? Things are going well. So I'm like, okay, this is great. So we're starting to build this trust for Mr. Logic. And That is where we went totally wrong. That's where we went wrong. So we built this trust for him, and then we just kept sending him money. Okay, if you get signed, usually when you get signed, the label is the one that takes care of all the finances and expenses. But with his company, I guess it was more like a management company. So any kind of services that I needed, basically like a music video, radio promo, anything, I had to be the one to pay for it. It was not coming out of the label's pockets at all. It was coming out of our pockets. So, things were going well for a while, and then all of a sudden things started slowing down. And I'm like, hey, okay, so when are we going to start shooting the music video for these other songs? Because I already paid for them, and they were not cheap. And I just keep seeing his life go up, going up, going up. He's living the lavish life. And I'm sitting there, and I'm stuck, and my career is going nowhere. It just all of a sudden just stopped. Like, if you see the progression, you'll see, oh, Mo is doing great. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, where's Mo? What happened? Like, how come there's no new information, no updates about Mo? And it's because he kept taking the money and not doing the work. So it got to the point where, like, I was getting fed up. And I'm like, look, what's going on? Because I paid for all this money and nothing is getting done. And he's like, don't worry. This director, he's busy, he's traveling, he's doing this. Oh, this is that. Like, there was always an excuse, and there's always, okay, no, don't worry, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday. Like, he just always had an excuse for everything. So he told me that I needed to go to South Africa. And the reason why I needed to go to South Africa is because we recorded a song called Be Happy. It's one of my favorite songs that I've recorded out there. And I agreed to it because it has like a Amapiano vibe to it. It has a very South African sound to it. So I agreed that, okay, I will go to South Africa, shoot a music video out there, do some TV promo, do some radio promo. That was on the itinerary. Like, that was what I was supposed to do when I go to South Africa. But before all of that happened, a lot has been transpiring because of all the finances that was coming out of our pockets and going into his pocket. We were having a lot of stress. Like, there was a lot of stress in the household, and there was a lot of resentment between Kirk and I. Like, it was really bad. And it got to the point where Mr. Logic got involved in our personal life. Like, instead of keeping it professional, he came into our personal business. He did see that I have been very stressed out because all this money keeps going, right? Keeps going into his pocket. And it was just very rough. And, he started to see the resentment that I was having toward Kirk and just toward everything that was going on. And I could have handled the situation a lot better than I did. I really, I should have. And Kirk and I both allowed Mr. Logic to get into our personal business. So we would start having like all these meetings with the American family and us about Kirk. Instead of it being about my music and what's next for my music, he started calling meetings about Kirk and how we need to get rid of Kirk. One thing about Mr. Logic, he was very manipulative, and he kept telling me I need to leave Kirk. He kept telling me how Kirk is no good, and he just kept saying like a whole bunch of things, trying to convince me that Kirk needs to be gone. And it got to the point where it got so, like, I don't want to say much about what has happened because Kirk has his own side to the story as well. But there's a lot of things that I was not happy about when it came to Kirk. Like, there's a lot of things he was doing that I didn't agree with, and I was hurt and upset about, and vice versa. So he was basically feeling like I was choosing my career over him. So like, it was very rough, very stressful. And the whole family could feel it. The whole family was feeling the stress that was going on in the house. So I found out that Mr. Logic threatened Kirk's life. And it got so bad that Kirk left. Kirk left us in Ghana. And another reason why he left is because I told him to leave. I told Kirk that he had to leave. Like, with everything that was going on, like, I was so resentful to Kirk. And I was also resenting Kirk because Kirk is the one who brought Mr. Logic into our lives. And now Kirk is pretty much allowing Mr. Logic to dictate our lives, So for me, I was just angry. I was so angry. I just didn't see it at the time. I just took it as like Kirk was just being very selfish, thinking about himself and going out, partying, doing his thing. And then I would have to be stuck at home. I did not go anywhere. The only places I was able to go or allowed to go because of my contract with the label was I was not supposed to go anywhere. The only time I would go out is if I had like an event to go to, or a performance, or a radio interview, TV, or recording in the studio. Those were the only times I was able to go out. So, you know, when I would see Kirk go out and he's having fun and he's partying and he's doing his thing, it hurt. Like I was resenting that, and I was resenting the wrong person. I should not have been resenting him like that. But I just felt like, you know, everything is going wrong. Like everything's going wrong. Like we came here to do something else, and we got so caught up into this whole music career, you know, that like we lost touch of what we were going to Ghana for. And now it got to the point where Kirk had to leave the country. He had to leave Ghana. He left us there. And that was very heartbreaking for all of us. And now it's like we're trying, I don't even know if we're even going to be able to get back together because of all the pain, all the things that has happened in Ghana. Like how do we even reconcile? How do we get back to that place where we used to be? Too much has happened on both ends. You know, there's things that he did that I found out, and it's unforgivable. But at the same time, I do understand slightly why that happened, why these things happened. So, and I take accountability for my part in this whole thing. I cannot sit here and say that I was like innocent in this whole thing. Like obviously, like I have done my mistakes as well. Like I literally put the label or another man above my husband. You know, that's how Kirk sees it, because I'm basically listening to everything that Mr. Logic has told me, you know, because he's an industry man. So when he's telling me I can't go out, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't even go to the store. If I want to go to the store, I have to send Claudia to go. You know, like I couldn't do anything. I just was stuck in the house. And I listened to that, you know, and obviously Kirk was resenting that, because Kirk would always say, hey, let's go out, let's do stuff together. And I would always be like, no, I can't. Right? And Kirk was like, stop. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And I was trying to just honor my contract, and I should have honored my marriage. Straight up, I should have honored my marriage. Like, God. And then now, so now Kirk is gone, and I'm there alone now with Grandpa, Victoria, and Claudia. It's just us alone. So now we are at the mercy of Mr. Logic. And hey guys, sorry, a call came in, and then I had to run some errands, and then so many things happened. So I'm continuing this video like hours later. I even fixed my hair a little bit. But okay, so I was letting you know that, you know, Kirk left. Yeah, Kirk left. So another thing that I was trying to do was listen to the label, because I was starting to be on TV, and people were starting to notice me. Like we would go on the road and people would notice who I was. So in order for me to be protected, it's like a whole thing. It's like if people see you too much, they get too used to you, you know. So that was part of the agreement. Also, there's something else I did want to mention. Like during my interviews, we discussed, before we had the interviews, before I even got signed, because I got signed in front of the media, and then before I got signed, Kirk and I had a discussion with Mr. Logic, and Mr. Logic was saying that he did not want people to know that I am married, because it doesn't really look well on the brand, right? So like we agreed that that I would not necessarily deny that I'm married, but if they ask, I would just like defer. I was supposed to defer and say, if they say, hey, are you married? I would say, oh, I'm married to the music. Oh, do you have a boyfriend? My boyfriend is my music. You know, like that's how I was supposed to answer these questions. So the day of the unveiling, the media unveiling, when they asked me, and I was sitting at the panel, Mr. Logic was sitting beside me, and then Kirk was sitting at the end. So Mr. Logic was in between us. And when they asked me if I'm married, I answered and I said, I'm married to the music. And that's because that's how I was supposed to answer it. Obviously, I didn't like the fact that I couldn't say, yes, I'm married and blah, 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 but I understand the way the industry works. You know, coming out as a fresh artist in Ghana or anywhere in the world, it's best if you're like known as single. Like, it's just a thing, you know. So for the interest of my listeners, I just had to not deny but defer. The mistake I made during some of the interviews I done in the past was when they asked me if I was married, I would say no. Like, I would get caught off guard. There's no excuse. Yeah, like, honestly, there's no excuse, because I should have just deferred instead of saying no. I should not have denied, and I did, and I was wrong for that. There's so many mistakes I made. I made so many mistakes, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was the only one that was making mistakes like throughout our marriage or relationship, because even before we got married, we were having a lot of difficulties that nobody ever knew because I kept it quiet, and I decided to just keep forgiving him to the point where, you know, because I loved him so much, and then I married him. But the way things have been going is that people never saw that, you know, they never seen our struggles in our relationship. They only seen the good times, the happy times, right? And then now they're seeing, people around us are seeing me denying my husband and everything. So now everyone has turned on me, right? Like, this is supposed to be showbiz. Everybody knows I'm married. Everybody knows that I have my husband at home. But for some reason, like, all my friends, some family members, like, well, not my family members, but his family members, they all turned on me. They all turned on me, even though there was an agreement for me not to discuss my personal business and for me to basically defer and not let people know that I'm married. So, but yeah, everybody turned on me. Like, honestly, like, all my friends who I thought were my friends, they all chose Kirk's side. They all took Kirk's side in everything. And they think that, like, I'm this horrible person now, which is not fair, because even though I kept quiet, where were they when he was making all these mistakes and doing all these things and hurting me? Nobody was around. Nobody, you know what I mean? What I hoped for was that my true friends would have came to me and said, Mo, what's going on? What the heck is this? Like, I even had friends posting on their social media, insulting me and ridiculing me for so-called denying that I have a husband. Nobody came to me and said, Mo, what are you doing? That's not cool. What's up? What's happening? And we could have discussed it, and I would have explained to them, look, this is part of the showbiz. This is what we agreed to. This is what it was. Nobody cared to ask me that. But anyway, let me get back to the story. Okay, so we got to the point where Kirk left. So Kirk left. I asked him to leave the house. I did not ask him to leave the country. I asked him to leave the house. What Mr. Logic was doing was telling him he needed to leave the country. Like, he was basically threatening him, told him he needs to leave the country. I later found out that Mr. Logic was trying to get Kirk on the red spot so that if he tried to come back to Ghana, they will deny him access. Like, for what? Why? Why would you deny somebody access to coming into a country when they have done nothing wrong? Kirk has never done any crimes, nothing like that. Why would somebody be so evil to do such a thing? Like, the mind of Mr. Logic is complete evil, no shame, it's just heartless. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, okay, so many things has happened. Okay, so before I got to South Africa, I need to finish speaking about Kirk. So in order for Kirk to leave, because remember, the permits, the stickers did not go into the permits, right? And another thing I didn't mention is that with immigration, the situation with immigration was that in order for us to stay in the country, we needed to be under a work permit, right? Or like legally, we just needed to be there legally. So we chose the work permit route. And so Mr. Logic had to take our passports in order for us to get the stickers on our passports. So he took the passports. So, you know, we were under the impression that he was doing the work, like he was putting the stickers in the passport. He said that he has a lady, an immigration lady who is his friend, and she will do the work permit process for him and for us. So we were under the impression that this lady was doing the stickers and all that stuff. We were under that impression. So time was going by, months, like weeks, months go by, and we're like, what's going on with our permit? Like, we're not getting any information. Like, We're sitting here, you guys have our passports and nothing's happening. Boy. So while this whole mess was going on and Kirk had to leave, Mr. Logic ended up giving Kirk back his passport. And when Kirk got back his passport, there was no sticker in there. So we were like, okay, what's going on with the sticker? Like, what's up with that? Anyway, Kirk was able to leave the country because Mr. Logic called that immigration lady. She was able to escort Kirk out of the country showing some document. And Mr. Logic called that lady and told the lady not to let Kirk see the document. Yeah, so Kirk was able to leave the country smoothly. Now, months go by and then he gets sued by the American family. And they ended up going to court and everything for it. And Mr. Logic even went to jail for a few days. And he had to hand over his passport. Like, I guess because he was not supposed to travel, right? Because he's going to court for frauding people. You're defrauding people, you can't leave the country. So after the whole court thing was settled, they had issued another court date. So I think the other court date was supposed to be in August or September, something like that. And this was May, right? This was like May, June. Okay. He went to court, faced his charges and everything, and they told him what he needs to do. He needs to pay back the money before the next court date, which was in August or September. Then the American family had to leave at the end of June. They left, okay? They left. And then I had to leave to go to South Africa because it was already in the plan. Like, before the whole court stuff happened, the plan was for me to go to South Africa. So now when I get to South Africa, the agreement, the only reason why I agreed to go to South Africa is because we were going to be shooting the music video for Be Happy. And then we were going to do like radio promo for it and TV appearances promoting the EP, yes, and to be promoting Be Happy as well. So that was the plan. That was the agreement. That was why he told me that we needed to go to South Africa. I was supposed to go to South Africa and then head over to the UK and then go right back to Ghana. Like, that was the plan. That's why I agreed, because he knows how much I love the song Be Happy. He knew like that's a big one for me. So as soon as I get to South Africa, I had to go on my own because obviously this whole court thing happened and he's not able to leave. He's not able to leave the country. So I go on my own and I'm there. And 1 week goes by and nothing's happening. Because he told me that while I'm there, I could still do this stuff. Like, he will arrange for everything to happen. He will arrange for the video director, for the radio stuff. Like, he said, like, he has everything arranged. All I need to do is just show up and do my job and then move on to the next thing. So 1 week goes by, nothing. 2 weeks go by, nothing. 3 weeks go by, nothing. I'm just stuck in South Africa, paying all these hotel bills, paying for my food, like, just wasting money because I'm just sitting there doing nothing because he's like, soon, okay, soon, don't worry, this day. Like, he just kept prolonging everything. Then he decides to message me and tell me, oh, by the way, we're not doing Be Happy anymore. You're going to be shooting another music video for two other songs. And at this point, I'm like, okay, this guy is just playing around now. He's just playing with me. He's toying with me. I don't like this. This was not the plan. Then he told me, like, in the first month, I ended up being there now for 1 month. I'm there for 1 month and I'm like, look, I'm running out of money. I need to go back to Ghana because clearly everything is not going the way it's supposed to go. He's like, don't worry. He's like, by the way, I'm coming. He said he's coming. He's going to come and join me. So I said, oh, okay. All right. He's like, when I come, don't worry. Everything is going to be fine. So he ends up, a whole month later, he ends up coming to South Africa and joining me in South Africa. When he says, like, okay, when I come, this is going to happen. When he got to South Africa, still nothing happened. It got so bad that he's like, look, I need to stay in your Airbnb with you, right? So I left the hotel to go to an Airbnb to see if I can save a little bit of money. This man came into my Airbnb and all he was doing all day was watching Netflix and eating the food that I bought, okay, and that I was cooking. He was living off of me and just eating my food, and nothing was getting done. So I started to get very frustrated with him, very angry and upset. And I said, wow, you're a real big disappointment. What kind of manager are you? This is terrible. And I started to have to do his work for him. So I started looking for radio stations, music video directors, TV people. I started looking for them and I started contacting them, like sending messages, making phone calls. I was the one doing all that stuff. I was setting it all up because he wasn't doing it. Then he started to get upset with me, telling me that I'm doing his job for him and he needs me to stop doing his job. I said, well, if you do your job, then I won't have to do your job for you. What's the point in signing me just to take my money and sit around and do nothing? So it got to the point where I said, you know what, I'm done. I cannot pay for any more Airbnbs. I cannot pay for any more food. You have to start paying because you brought me out here. You told me to come out here. You pay for it. So we ended up going to a new spot. We had to go to this hotel and he couldn't even last a whole week. He was always complaining, oh, it's too expensive. Oh my God. Like it was always like he was just bitching and complaining all the time about how he can't pay for it. It's too expensive. So I'm like, oh, okay. So and if I was to complain, oh my goodness, you should see how he was just yelling at me and mistreating me because I was complaining about how expensive this was and this is not what I came out here for. He was just like yelling down my throat. Like I couldn't believe it. I was just like, who are you? Like, who are you? Who is this person? So he was treating the hotel staff horribly. He was abusing them. He was talking to me all kinds of way, like talking to me like I'm a piece of crap. I'm like, what the heck happened? Like, who is this guy? You know? Like his whole demeanor just changed. Everything about him just turned into this ugly person. So it got to the point where he was just fed up and he didn't want to pay for my hotel stay and he didn't want to pay for my food, that he actually left me and abandoned me at the hotel. He ended up driving off in some white car with some Indian woman. And that was the last I saw. Well, that wasn't the last I saw of him, but yeah, he went off with some lady, some Indian lady. And he left me with the remainder of the hotel bill because he didn't pay for it. He didn't finish paying the bill. He couldn't. He just refused to. He didn't want to. So I had to end up paying for the rest of the hotel bill. And then I had to go and get my own Airbnb for the rest of the time that I was there. I was there for 3 months, okay? Knowing that my family is back home in Ghana waiting for me. Another thing that happened while we were there is he told me, he's like, oh, Mo, by the way, your work permit expired. I said, what are you talking about? My work permit expired. I paid for 3 years. What do you mean? What do you mean my work permit expired? What are you talking about? I said, look, you need to go and handle that immediately because I paid for it and you need to go deal with that now. He's like, don't tell me what to do. I will do it whenever I'm ready to do it. I was like, are you sure you want to do that? Because if you wait, if you don't do it now, and when I'm ready to go back to Ghana, it's going to be a big issue. So I told him, please just get it done now. No, don't tell me what to do. I won't do it. I'll do it when I'm ready. I'm like, wow, okay. Like he just turned into this horrible, terrible, evil man. Then he goes and tells me, oh, by the way, the landlord wants you and your family out of the house. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would the landlord want us out of the house? I paid for 2 years up front. I paid the rent. So what's the problem? If there's any kind of maintenance that needs to be done, like landscaping or anything, I make sure that the landscaping around the compound is done beautifully. I make sure that if there's any issues with plumbing or anything, that I pay for it and the issue gets resolved. Like I'm maintaining the house, you know, like Claudia's doing a great job keeping it clean and just taking care of the family and everything, you know. So what's the problem? Like, why does the landlord want us out of the house? And he just kept saying, yeah, the landlord wants you out. The landlord wants you out. He wants to put his son in the house. I'm like, okay, well, he's going to have to wait, or he's going to have to reimburse me for the time that is remaining for that we paid for. Gosh. So anyway, something came up and I had a family emergency in Canada and I had to rush to Canada. And, you know, Mr. Logic was not happy about it. So I said, look, Mr. Logic, I have to go to Canada. Please make sure you take care of my permit from now so that when I'm ready to leave Canada, I can just go straight to Ghana. Because clearly you wasted my whole time. I came to South Africa for nothing, just to sit around and watch Netflix all day and you eat my food. Like, what the heck, you know? But, you know, he was just like so ignorant and arrogant about everything, saying, no, he will do it whenever he's ready. I should not tell him what to do. He does not like taking orders from a woman. Also, there was an incident at the hotel, the one that he was crying about paying for. There was an incident where he met someone and that person invited him to go to some event. And the person also wanted me at the event. So when Mr. Logic asked me about it, like asked me if I wanted to go to the event. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go. At the time I wasn't feeling well anyway, and I was not happy because I'm like, I'm away from my father, my daughter, you know, and I need to get back to them. So I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I wasn't feeling well. My stomach was hurting, and I just told him, I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready. Why did I say that? This man started cussing me out. He started like calling me all these names, all these bad names, all these terrible names. And I'm like, why? What's wrong with you? I said, do you have a mental problem or something? Is something like, are you mentally ill? Is something wrong with you? Why did I say that? Why did I say that? In the hotel, I'm sure everybody heard because the staff, okay. Anyway, so he went and told me, he's like, you're stupid. You're stupid. You're so stupid. And he was saying F this and F word and calling me all kinds of bad names. F this, F that. And he's just like, all up in my face, you know? And like, to me, I'm looking at him and I'm like, and in my mind, I'm thinking, this guy is just a scared little boy with mommy issues. Like, that's how I saw it. I know that's rude to say, but that's how I was thinking and feeling when I was looking at him. He just looked so pathetic when he was doing that. This man had the nerve to say that I'm beneath him. He's like, you are beneath me. You are nothing. You're beneath me. And I said, oh, I'm beneath you, eh? Okay, but you need my money, though. You need my money in order for you to take care of yourself and your family. I'm like, yeah, I'm beneath you, though, eh? But you can't stop bawling for my money. This guy, such a loser. And the staff even came to me and said, hey, I don't like the way that man abuses you. Like, the staff told me this. It was so bad. Then all of a sudden, you know, days go by. I'm feeling at peace because he is away from me, thank God. And I'm in my own Airbnb, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go out. I need to buy some groceries and cook something or whatever, right? So I go to the grocery store, and lo and behold, who do I see walking by? Mr. Logic and this Indian lady, okay, walking and talking like everything is fine, like, you know, he's like the best person in the world. So they walked by, and then they end up going into the grocery store. So I ended up, because I was at the bank, I was in line waiting at the ATM waiting to withdraw some money, right, some rand, so that I can go buy some groceries. So I go into the grocery store, and he sees me at the grocery store. He sees me, and then I see him, and I look at him, and I'm just like, and I just pretended like I didn't know that. I didn't know him, you know, just went, did my thing, and left. He ends up messaging me, and he's like, oh, so you saw me and you're acting like you didn't know me? I said, well, you could have said hi to me too. You were not trying to say hi to me. You were not trying to say hi to me at all, because I'm sure you did not want your little lady to know that you know me. So, you know, obviously because you needed to mooch on her, and you need to live off of her now. So you didn't want any issues. Anyway, it was so terrible. So I kept getting phone calls from Canada, like from my family, like, I need to get back to Canada. I need to get back to Canada. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta go. I gotta get to Canada. So, you know, I ended up messaging him, and I told him, look, I gotta go. I'm like, I'm having some serious issues in Canada. I need to go really quickly, and then I gotta head right back to Ghana, because at this point I've been gone away from my family for over 3 months now, which was not the plan. And you know, I'm like, I need to go. I need to go now. Yeah, and the agreement was that because I paid for certain things, he owed me some money, and so he had to pay for my plane ticket to get to Canada. So I'm like, look, I need you to do it now. I need to go to Canada now. You need to get my ticket now. You need to get my ticket now. And like, I kept pressuring him like, yo, I don't care what excuse you have for me. I don't care. You need to pay for my ticket to go. You kept me here in South Africa for no good reason, for nothing. By the way, I love South Africa. South Africa is amazing. It's beautiful. I'm so happy I was able to go. Like, regardless, I'm so glad I was able to go and experience South Africa. I will definitely be back. But yeah, so I'm like, look, I need to go now. So now I arrive in Canada. You know, Mr. Logic was not happy. He was so angry that I had to go to Canada, because he obviously clearly wanted to keep me in South Africa so that I can continue paying for him to be there. So now I'm leaving South Africa. I'm in Canada now. And I said to him, look, you need to just get this work permit done, you know, just get it done. And he just kept telling me stuff like, stop telling me what to do or I'm going to block you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, why are you treating me this way? Like, I'm the one who is basically financing your life, and you're treating me like this? Like, are you dumb? Are you stupid? Like, are you foolish? Like, you can't just mistreat me like this and do all these evil things to me and think you're gonna get away with it, because you're not. Okay, anyway, so now it's time for me to leave Canada. It's time for me to leave Canada and go back to Ghana. And I'm, every day. So this is September now. Every day I'm like, Mr. Logic, I need to go. Like, where is my permit? Like, where is my I need to go. And at this time as well, there's no money left. Like, my money is depleted because he's taken everything from me. So he said, I don't even know why I agreed to this, but he told me, okay, what he's going to do, because he told me that he was going to get my permit done with the immigration lady. Like, she will do it, and she will get the permit, and when I get to Ghana, she will put the sticker in my passport, right? That was the agreement. And I said, okay, fine. Once you do that, I will purchase my ticket, and then I will, head back to Ghana. And he's like, no, he was just trying to convince me, like, what I need to do. I don't know why. What I need to do is send him the ticket money because he can get me a good discount with his person. And the reason why I believed it is because we've done it multiple times. Like, this is something that we have done before multiple times. So I said, okay, you know what? He has gotten me some really good deals, and I will send him my plane ticket money along with I guess that's when he would give me the permit information and some safe to board thing that he was talking about. He said I need to do some kind of safe to board. I'm like, I don't even know why. I'm like, all I need is my permit. Okay, so stupid me went and I sent him my ticket money, believing that he will do it, like get my ticket and then get my permit and add it to my ticket, and then all I need to know is just what day I'm going. So this is September, okay? The whole of September goes by, nothing happens. And I'm like asking him, what's going on? This time my family is pressuring me. Monique, you need to get back to Ghana. You have Victoria there, you have Grandpa there, they need you. They're vulnerable. Obviously, I know, like, they're vulnerable in Ghana by themselves. Yes, Claudia is there, to take care of them, but this is not Claudia's job, and we did not agree for Claudia to be taking care of them for this long. Like, this was not the agreement. And the sad part is Mr. Logic knew all of this. Boy, so October comes now, and still there's no work permit, all this. So I'm like, okay, look, Mr. Logic, you know what, just send me back my money. I'm going to find my way back into Ghana. Like, I'll just have to find my way back, So I basically was going to get, like, I didn't want to. I was so angry because I'm like, all the thousands of dollars that I paid for my permit, and I'm having problems getting back into the country. Like, why am I going through this? Why the hell is this happening? So I said to him, look, I need my money back. Just send me back my money. This man, he told me that he took the money and paid the police for the American family. Like, he said he had to use the money to pay back the American family. He used part of it. I said, what are you talking about? I said, that money was for my ticket. That had nothing to do with you or your benefits. That was for me to get back to my family. What are you doing? And I'm letting you guys know, I have all the proof. I have all the conversations of all of this stuff. I have all the proof. I have screenshots. I have recordings of our calls. I have everything. I have voice notes. I even have the voice note of him saying that he took my money and gave it to the police to help to pay off the American family. We all know that's a lie. And the reason why I know it's a lie is because I found the police lady and I spoke to her myself. And she told me, no, he did not pay anything. There was no money that he paid anything toward the American family. He paid nothing, He completely lied to me. He lied to me and said that he was almost done paying off their debt. So, mind you, this is September, and the court case was due around September time. So this means that he violated the court order, and he's out of the country now, right? He's not even supposed to have left the country. And he has a bench warrant out for his arrest because of the fact that he basically is on the run. He was on the run. I didn't even know. This whole time, I did not even know that this man was on the run, and he was making me pay his way. This guy's so disgusting. So disgusting. So anyway, October comes now. There's no permit, anything like that. So I'm like, just give me back my money. He says that he took the money and used it for something else. I said, you know what? You need to give me back. Oh my God, I was so angry. I said, you need to give me back my money now. I said, you need to give me back my money now. You know, like, I'm not playing with you. I need my money back now. This man said, don't worry, I'm going to get you your money back. I'm going to get you your money back. Don't worry. Just give me time. Give me time, okay? Give me time. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is just so evil. This guy, like, why? He's really good. One thing about Mr. Logic, he is really good at convincing you. He's a manipulator. He knows how to manipulate every situation. He's a bully as well. And that's another thing that I really needed Kirk to know. Like, yes, I'm a grown woman and I make decisions, you know, but I was highly, highly manipulated by this man, and I was highly bullied by this man, completely bullied by him. And can you imagine, like, if what he was able to do when Kirk was around, he was able to dictate our whole life, our whole family. He just took over everything. So now Kirk has left and I'm at his mercy. You know, that just made things worse for me. And the American family is gone. I'm alone. I'm there alone dealing with him, this predator, this terrible man. Okay. So anyway, yes, this now it's getting into November, and I'm like, yo, dude. Like, I've said all these things to him, and he ended up blocking me on WhatsApp. So he ended up blocking me on WhatsApp because I kept saying things to him that he didn't like, and he couldn't handle it. Like, I was saying to him, like, I'm sitting here at my mom's house, okay, and I'm feeling so ashamed because we went to Ghana for beautiful reasons. You know, we had a whole plan of why we were going to Ghana. We were going to help diasporans come into Ghana and help to invest in the country, you know, get land and build communities. And like, we had a whole plan, and it was working until that evil man came into our lives and just ruined everything and turned everything upside down. And we stupidly allowed it. And now, like, my whole life is ruined. Okay, so let me just finish. So November comes, still nothing. I'm still stuck in Canada. Okay. Yeah. So he had every excuse in the book why he hasn't gotten the money together yet to pay me back. So November. Yeah. So I sent him that message, and I'm like, look, I'm so sad. I'm sitting here in my mom's house. I'm feeling so ashamed. Like, you know, we came to Ghana for amazing reasons, and we got caught up with your foolishness, and now everything is gone. Like, you've ruined everything. And my family is looking at me, and they're like, all I can do is feel shame. I'm feeling so ashamed because I left. My family didn't even want me to go to Ghana in the first place because they were afraid that this was going to happen. So now they're looking at me like, we told you. I'm like, but that's the sad part of it all. It's just that Ghana is not like that. It's only a few people who are like that. It's like that in any country. You know, like, we have met the most amazing people in the world in Ghana. It's just that this fool, oh God. Anyway, so I told him, and I said to him, I'm like, look, if you were an honest man, you would have a better life, you know? And when I told him that, he was so hurt. He was so hurt by it that he ended up blocking me. But before he blocked me, he asked to speak with my mom. So he spoke with my mom, and he told her how hurt he is from what I said. And he said he could never forgive me for what I said. I'm like, well, the truth hurts, okay? The truth hurts. So he decided that he wants to just deal with my mom from now on and not deal with me because I was being too difficult for him. I kept calling him out of his cell. I kept calling him a criminal, a thief, a liar. You know, I'm like, a predator. How can you do these things? How can you do these things to innocent people with pure intentions? Like, how can you sit there? How can you sleep at night? That's what I would tell him. I'm like, how can you sleep at night knowing that you have separated me from my family for this long for your own gain, right? There was what was the point of having me leave Ghana? And now it's going to be a big issue for me to get back into the country. And he's like, and my mom was speaking with him, and she kept saying, look, it's very urgent. We need to go back to Ghana and take care of her father and her daughter. This is ridiculous now. You have her here for over 5 months, you know? And he kept going back and forth because he's a liar, and he likes to lie and talk so much crap. Oh, like, he just knows how to try to convince you. And he was telling mom, he's like, please, mommy, just give me a little time, you know? I could be your son. Just believe me, okay? Trust me, okay? I will get your daughter back to Ghana. Don't worry. She will go. She's like, okay, I'm trusting you. I'm giving you my heart. Please, don't violate my trust. Do the right thing, okay? He's like, don't worry, mommy, I got you. December comes. my mom is like, what's going on? Like, she's been asking, don't worry, mommy, soon, don't worry, it's coming. And I kept telling mom, I'm like, Mom, stop believing him, because he's a liar. He will never do it. He's all talk and no action. And that's why he will get nowhere in life. Okay, that's why Shatawale is where he is today, because he did the same thing to Shatawale. He screwed Shatawale over, and Shatawale proved him wrong. And now look at him. He's a big, huge star now, and left Mr. Logic in the dust, in the dirt. Okay, so December now, still nothing. Okay, still nothing. So my mom said, you know what? I've given you enough time. You have betrayed my trust, and it's out of my hands now. It's out of my hands. So she ended up blocking him. And like during this time, I was like so stressed out, because when he told me that the landlord wanted my family out of the house, I was very stressed out. I'm like, look, I need to find this landlord, because I don't need something happening that's going to put my family in distress, you know, especially since I'm not there yet. I'm not there to take care of them and to get them out of the situation. So I did so much like research. I called people. I was like all this stuff, and I managed to get the landlord's number. So when I spoke to the landlord told me that Mr. Logic did not pay the rent. He told me that the landlord told me that he did not pay the rent. Mr. Logic did not pay the rent. What the heck? What are you talking about? Mr. Logic knows that my father and my daughter and Claudia are in the house, and they're vulnerable, and they're helpless. And this man just took the money and didn't pay the rent? What? Like, who is this? Like, how stupid is this man? Are you serious? He didn't pay the rent. So I'm like, wow, oh my God, this is bad. So I was begging and pleading the landlord. I said, please, landlord, please, I need you to just give me some time. I'll see what I can do. All right, I'll see what I can do. I'm trying my best to get some money together and try to get them into a new spot. And he's like, no, just pay me. I said, no, I'm not paying. I said, I already paid the rent. I'm like, if you want the rent, go after Mr. Logic. He's the one who took the money, because he was not allowing us to speak at all. Like, he was not allowing you to speak with me, and I didn't speak with you. You had many opportunities to come to the house when I was there to complain and let me know what was going on. You never once came to the house to tell me what was going on. You did not do that. And he told me that Mr. Logic stopped him from coming to the house. I'm like, your own house? If something wasn't right, if something was wrong, you should have come to the house and said what was happening. It would have avoided so many things if he did that. But he didn't do it. Then, so actually, before Mr. Logic blocked me, the landlord called Mr. Logic and told Mr. Logic that he spoke with me. So Mr. Logic was so angry that the landlord got a hold of me, because now I know the truth, right? Now I know that he didn't pay the rent. So Mr. Logic called me and he's like, hey, I heard that you spoke with the landlord. What did you tell the landlord? I said, what do you mean, what did I tell the landlord? I told the landlord the truth, that I paid the rent. So whatever you did with the money, you need to go find it and go pay the landlord. Like, what is this? What is wrong with you? We ended up doing a conference call, and I spoke with the landlord and Mr. Logic on this conference call. I recorded the whole conversation, so I have all the proof of this conversation. Mr. Logic was talking at the side of his neck, as usual, talking all these crappy lies. This is all crap, BS. And he said at the end of the call, he agreed that he owes the money and that he would pay. He will pay the rent, because if he doesn't pay the rent, the family will get kicked out. So, and Mr. Logic knew. He knew that if he doesn't pay the rent, that he will kick my family out. Even though the right thing to do is to go to rent control and let rent control deal with it. But no. And the landlord did the unthinkable. He did the unthinkable, because obviously Mr. Logic did not pay the rent. He did not pay. As a matter of fact, he stopped talking to the landlord. He was avoiding the landlord now. So the landlord told me that he has no more pity for me and my family, and that we need to leave immediately. I said, please, you have to understand, look, like Mr. Logic has done all these crimes towards me, and I'm stuck in Canada, and I'm trying to get back to the family. Please just give me some time. I'm trying to do my best from Canada. You just please understand. Just please understand. He's like, no, I don't care. You need to go. You need to leave. You need to leave. And I said, just please give me some time. Please give me time. Right? And he didn't respond. Maybe 2 days later, I get a video call from Claudia, and I recorded that call too. I received a video call from Claudia, and she was like all over the place. She was like stressed out, and I'm like, Claudia, calm down. What's going on? What's going on? She said that the landlord sent some man to the house to get a huge padlock on the gates, both gates, like the car gate and then the walking through gate. Okay, some man came and put like a huge padlock on both locks and locked Grandpa and locked Claudia in the compound, so they couldn't get out. Victoria was at school at the time, so he locked Victoria out of the house. Okay, and I was so upset. I was so devastated because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. So when Victoria got home from the school bus, she couldn't get inside. So Claudia was yelling. I guess Claudia saw some people walking. She saw some guys walking by, and she asked them. She's like, "Please, can you help? Please, can you help? We are stuck in here." And Victoria, she's stuck outside the gate and she can't get in. Please, I need you to help her to get in. Can you help her to get over the wall or over the gate so that she can come into the house? And they did. They helped her to get in, but they had to throw her over the gate, and the gate has pointy ends, so she could have really got hurt really bad, but thank God she didn't get hurt. Okay, like now my daughter she was almost harmed. She was almost harmed because of what Mr. Logic did. She was almost harmed. And my father, he's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what is happening? What's all this commotion? What's going on? You know? So it was so bad. So thank God they were okay, and they ended up staying for the night. They stayed there overnight. So I called the landlord, and I recorded that call too. And I said to the landlord, "Why did you do that? Why did you do that to my family? I told you that I was getting ready to move them out of the house. Like, why did you do this?" I'm like, we are supposed to be on the same side. You know, we are the ones that are supposed to be reporting Mr. Logic for what he has done. Why did you do this? He's like, the landlord said, "You need to respect yourself. How can you ask me that? Go respect yourself." I'm like, why are you so angry with me? What did I do? You know, like, what did I do? I'm like, I'm here stuck in Canada. I'm helpless. I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know what to do. I'm trying my best. You don't understand. I was trying my best. So I ended up I had to arrange for them to move. And I'm so blessed throughout this whole process. I have an amazing friend who helped me throughout this whole thing. And if I didn't have him, I don't know what I would have done. Because they would have been like homeless on the street. They would have literally been homeless on the street because the landlord didn't care, and because of what Mr. Logic did. So my friend was able to take them and bring him to his house. The next day, we ordered a truck and got all of our belongings, and we moved out of the house. This landlord had the nerve to tell my friend that he wants to keep my AC that I purchased, that I bought. He said, "Make sure you keep the AC," and he wanted some of my items, some of my things. I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I'm taking everything." This man, some really terrible people in this world. You know, I'm so grateful that I was able to get his help. You know, like, I don't even know how I can thank him for this. So he ended up finding a place for them to stay. The problem is the place is not even ready yet, and we are in January now. The place is not ready. I'm stuck in Canada for now. And, you know, like, the reason why I'm stuck here is because I had to find money to pay for a new place for them to stay. Plus, I had to find a place here in Canada for me to stay, because I can't stay in my mom's house. I can't stay there. My mom has people there, like other people that are living there. So I needed to get my own place. So imagine, I have to pay for my own apartment in Canada, which is not cheap. Then I had to pay for a new place for Grandpa and Victoria and Claudia to live. Not to mention, I have to furnish this place, and I have to furnish that place in Ghana too. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. So once they were out of the house and they're at my friend's house, they ended up going to the police. We did a police report and to basically do a statement of all the crimes that he has committed against us, like us and our family. And I even went to the Canadian embassy to let them know what was going on. Now, mind you, Mr. Logic has a friend that works in the Canadian embassy. So when I told my story and I let them know what's happening, I emailed them and I showed them the proof of everything, that all the crimes that he has committed toward my family and I. The embassy did nothing. All they did was say, okay, come in at a certain date to try to get passports for Grandpa and Victoria, because Mr. Logic took their passports. And Mr. Logic ended up telling my mom that he hid the passports. And I have proof of him saying it. Like, he did not, it's just so bad. Like, there's so much to say. So, yeah, so all the Canadian embassy could say was, thank you for the information, it's well noted. That's all I got. And I'm like, it's gotta be, I know it's the lady, because the main person who runs the Canadian embassy is Mr. Logic's friend. So I know, like, that's one of the reasons why I'm not getting any help. I've been emailing them. I'm saying, look, this is an urgent matter. I need my family back in Canada. Please help us. You're supposed to be the Canadian embassy. Why aren't you helping? Like, why aren't you treating this with urgency? What they should have said was, tell your father and your daughter to come to the embassy and we will arrange for them to get back to Canada. That is what they should have done. But no, they're saying, okay, thank you, well noted. And when I keep emailing them, I'm not getting any response. I'm not getting any response. It's like they don't care, right? And I'm like, what the heck is this? What's going on here? So then I started to do a little bit more research and I said, I need to find this immigration lady because I need to know what's going on. Like, if she has been really speaking with Mr. Logic about getting my work permit sticker, for me to get back to Ghana. I found her. Lo and behold, the same friend who has been helping me has helped me to find her. So when we found her, she was very surprised. She was stunned. She couldn't believe it. But even my friend was saying, like, we shouldn't trust her because obviously she's Mr. Logic's friend. And if she can do what she did with Kirk and not show him the permit and just escort him out of the country, then, obviously she has to be working with him. So I asked her some questions. I said to her, I'm like, did Mr. Logic do a 3-year work permit for me, Kirk, and then a dependent permit for my father and my daughter? She said no. She said he only did 1 year, and she said that he only did 1 year for me, for Kirk and myself. And she said he did nothing for Victoria and Grandpa. Nothing. He did nothing. So basically, he took the passports and did nothing. He did nothing at all. So they're basically sitting in Ghana illegally right now because he did not do what he was supposed to do. She was telling me all these things, how she said how Mr. Logic was asking how he can get Kirk on the stop list from coming back into the country. She said how he has no intention of doing the work permit for us, but he took our money and didn't do the work. She even said that what she's going to try to do is communicate with him to try to get Victoria and Grandpa's passports so that she could at least put some kind of sticker in there so that if anything is to happen, they're fine, like she was just we were trying to find a way for them to get their passports back, and that was the plan for that to happen. It didn't happen. So then the next thing that we decided was, okay, you know what, we need this lady on our side. Okay, we need this immigration lady on our side. So we ended up speaking with the police people that were dealing with the American family. We ended up speaking with her, the police lady, and we had a plan. So the plan was, when Mr. Logic comes back into Ghana, that the immigration lady will hold him and have him arrested. They call the police and get him arrested. So that was the plan. So I found out through someone else that Mr. Logic has entered Ghana. I found out from someone else, totally different. So when I messaged the immigration lady and I asked her, I said, is it true? Is Mr. Logic in the country? Like, is he back in Ghana? She said, yes. I'm like, what do you mean yes? What do you mean he's in the country? Why didn't he get arrested at the airport? I'm like, look, am I not able to trust you? Like, I can't trust you at this point. she said yes, she saw him at the airport. She said she saw him. And she said that he came December 31st. And the date, when I asked her, this was January 7th. So a whole week went by and she didn't say anything to anybody. She kept quiet about the whole thing. So she knew that Mr. Logic was back in Ghana and she said nothing to nobody. So now we're like, okay, she can't be trusted. Now we have to go after her because she's clearly not to be trusted. And when I asked her, she ended up calling me and I recorded the call, of course. When she called me and she was saying, oh, I'm so sorry, because I asked her, I'm like, why didn't you say anything? Why did you stay silent for 7 days? You know, this doesn't look good on you. She's like, oh, I was busy. I was so busy. I'm like, you're not making any sense. She said how when he came to the airport, she couldn't even recognize him because he was wearing some kind of sunglasses and a mask on his face, right? So she couldn't even recognize him. So, yeah, that's what she said. And then she said how he is planning on leaving the country again and coming to Canada. So yes, all of a sudden now he's having all these plans to come to Canada, and if we're not careful, she will help him smuggle him out of the country. So she knows the urgency of the whole situation. She knows everything. And one thing that I did not mention is throughout this whole thing, Mr. Logic has been threatening my life.
Let me tell you something. If you talk like this, I will fucking murder you. Yeah, I'm going straight with you. If you talk like this, don't step to Ghana.
Are you kidding me?
I swear on my father's grave. If you talk like this to me, I'll fucking murder you.
You're serious right now?
I'm telling you the truth. Yes. If you talk like this, you cannot go to Ghana. If you talk like this, you cannot go to Ghana. If you talk like this, it's going to get very bloody for you. If you talk like this, it's going to get very bloody for you.
Good, because I'm recording this too. I'm recording this conversation.
Record it.
And it will be sent to the police.
Like, he's threatened my life multiple times. I recorded the conversations of him threatening my life. I have screenshots of him threatening my life. He even told my mother that he's coming for my life. He told my mother he's coming for my life. So clearly, his plan to come to Canada is to do what? There's nothing here for him in Canada at all. So what, is he trying to come for my life? Is that what he's trying to do? Because clearly, there's nothing here for him. There's no reason for him to come to Canada. I mean, okay, yes, you can do whatever you want. But what he needs to focus on is the court case. He needs to go be dealt with the police. That's what needs to happen. He needs to get arrested. So I need help, you guys. I need help. Like, if there's a way, if you see him, please call the police. Do not go near him. Just call the police and let them know his whereabouts, okay? Because this is a serious thing. He's even sent me emails where he's threatening my family's life. He's like, say, if I don't keep quiet, he told me that if I don't keep quiet and if I don't resolve this issue with him privately, that he will come after me and he will come after my family. He's like, when I think that everything is fine and quiet and normal, that's when he's gonna come after me and my family. That's what he told me. I cannot let that happen. Obviously, I cannot let that happen. So please, guys, I need your help. I really need your help. If you guys know where he is, if you see him, please call the police on him, please. He's done so many crimes to so many people, and he just keeps getting away with it. And it's not good. It's not good. He needs to pay for his crimes. And it's not fair because I feel like because we are foreigners, like they're not taking it as serious, but he's doing this to his own people as well. And it's gonna get to the point where he's gonna mess with the wrong person and someone will do him in. There's word on the street saying that there's people after him. People want him. And I'm just so surprised that he is still walking the street freely with all the crimes that he has committed. Like, I don't understand. What is Ghana doing? What are you doing, Ghana? You need to deal with this man. You really need to deal with this man, because if you don't, you're gonna have people's lives at stake. Because he has been threatening people's lives. And if anybody gets hurt because of him being free on the street, you are being held accountable for it. Because you've had every chance in the world, Ghana, to be getting this man off the street. Nobody likes him in the industry. People don't want to deal with him. He abuses people. Like, he's not nice. People don't want him around. People call him a disgrace to the music industry. And, I just don't understand why people won't take him down. If you report him, you know what he has done. call the police. The people are afraid that maybe he will find out that they called the police on him, or they had something to do with his takedown. But they don't need to worry about that. They need to be more worried about the fact that he could be hurting people or killing people. He needs to be stopped. So please, you guys, I need your help. Please. Please. I don't need him to be coming to Canada. I don't need that. He's not even supposed to be able to travel. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end this video now, but please, I need your help as well. Like, the embassy is not doing what they're supposed to do. Like, if you guys can even help, like, email them, you know, I'll have the link in the description. I'll have all the information in the description. Like, please, if you guys can help, like, message the embassy for me. You know, if you're in Ghana, if you can call the embassy and let them know, like, please, like, this is an urgent situation. We did not go to Ghana for this. You know, another thing I need you to know is that regardless of everything that has happened, this is not going to stop me from being in Ghana, because Ghana is wonderful. Ghana is wonderful. Ghana is home. We've made it our home, and we've been tracking our family back to Ghana. We're not going to let one man stop us from being there. And just like the American family as well, they are also not letting Mr. Logic stop them from being in Ghana. So we just need to do the right thing. We need to get him arrested. We need to get him thrown in prison. We need him under the prison. Okay, like that. With all the crimes he has committed, he should never be able to see the light of day. He should be able to stay and rot in prison for the rest of his life for all the crimes he has committed to many people around the world and in his own country, his own people. He needs to be stopped once and for all. Okay, but please pray for Kirk and me as well. You know, I'm really hoping that we can work things out, but the way things are looking, I don't know. I really don't know. But you know, he's just telling me it's too late. You know, it's too late. And like, I've been dealing with this process on my own. Like, he has not helped in any way. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He just wants to move on, and that's fine. Like, he has every right to do that, you know, so it is what it is.
Someone baba way edi atuja efa Mr. Logic ho enie asemo minimu adwenkyere wo so ohia nkofo mebire na mo a ohia advice ni ade obetimi do comment section ebia na eje wa bekan bi wa advice ni bi na odi atu ne hofo ba asemba amunya abotre Mr. Logic wadi obisi ka sanso osiga na abesa ameda no mo kasa mo busu.
How to use the laser home kit. First, apply the gel directly to the tooth surface as demonstrated on the video. Second, connect the light to your phone using the USB provided. Leave the light shining on your teeth for 16 minutes. Fourth, rinse your mouth and the mouthpiece with water, cold water. And lastly, smile. Using the toothpaste separately. Brush twice daily with the toothpaste. Bear in mind, this product is not suitable for pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and children under 18 years old. Enjoy!
I am so pair a sifita structure of what yet, and the enough for unique laser whitening. Any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains beer, unique laser whitening product. Ever in every summer, come. The Oyan is so befraying. I was 079-9979-2330. Unique laser whitening, or say Muni Sesso.
Unique. Penifo se bibi o wi asenti ne da ne atopnum na ne pabone fonti e wo se wo bambo hu hia na ne papa mu de Pro Technologies ana me kan fama wo ane Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yeton esa install CCTV cameras in the South Ghana and NASA brochure na ufi Ghana. Now person CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and South. We get CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and intercom, and satellite TV, home theater. So upe biato, and wato, and a person install them out. Pro Technologies and our software. Na shenenso. See fidie nyina fra America brochime ndi sane papam na opade a manwene ho na ne bo nso da fom me kye no da web brochime mu ha ene e branch e wo Ghana ye ni mo bra wo bre nti sika fa ye nsem tie fa nya japade ma wo Ghana wo da na ne tenese yesa general construction so web brochire na peso si fi o Ghana e dan plan bi o peso si se wa sha se dada ana afi na peso si plan bia ye besi ama eno achi so here solar power ana bamba ho nsensem bi ade woni ye ni nsawoso ne esanso ye smart home abefo fidie bi apese hye e wo fie ana watwuma mo de ma wo woni ye ni nsawoso we are just a call away ne esanso wadan de ma han ana ofre brochire bedu Ghana na wo pe full house room ana apartment ahan for short term ana long term ye be ma obiane border form na bamba ho nsem de manwene ho enna ye interior decoration so wasi fie na wie ana yasi fie na ma no ye sign decoration ye besiesie odie ana office so e dia ma eno edi so tom fidie bi na wo hokun fa so install ana ne settings ye beye e dia ma e wo Ghana wo behu yen wo mre Frăud denta e di wani ache dodoa wo behu ye e wo ahie ye ne Emerlin pharmacy e na wo the same building. For information or WhatsApp 401-7570-300 and a +401-6992-254. Frăud Technologies. We have the solutions for your security and home entertainment needs at affordable prices.